Hey all, a delicious short today. It's so important to never forget the most critical things that happen to you or your people. So here's a really short video, it's only a minute or two, and it just gives you a flashback of what happened 2020, 2021. And never forget, or your children will be next, that's for sure. So here you go, enjoy this. And it'll be followed by an interview covering similar content with Montgomery Toms, who I met at the European Parliament. So a great interview following this. Well, there you go, guys. Never forget, eh? So please share, subscribe, and remind everyone what's at stake here in this current battle, this fourth turning. The technocrats are coming for us, but we're going to beat them. So now I have a short interview I did with a gentleman I met for the first time. You have to guess his age before the end of the interview, where the reveal will happen. So very interesting gentleman, and we talk around what happened in the last few years and what we need to do about it. I'm here in Brussels, guys. Yesterday we were in the European Parliament, where I met for the first time Montgomery Toms.
It's lovely to meet you.
Absolutely. And you gave a blistering short rant. I know, like I did, we had 2 minutes only to address the Parliament, but maybe you could reproduce that here or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, well, I was invited, obviously, to discuss things around kind of lockdown and COVID days, but I wanted to introduce the fact that in the UK, we've got digital IDs on the horizon, and that Starmer is really pushing for a compulsory Brits card. And people may wonder why that's linked, but if you ask me, the precedent that was set with vaccine passports back in 2021 is the reason that they feel it's possible to bring in a papers, please culture. Because with lockdowns, with COVID and all of the mandates, the fact that we submitted to them showed any government, future government and the government before, that they can control the population through fear and authoritarianism. And that's why they now can feel, oh, we'll just bring in a Brit card. We'll track and we'll monitor and we'll surveil and the British public will allow it. And I was trying to make the point that I confidently believe that they've pushed it too far with the amount of top-down control we've got in the UK, and the public are going to react. And I'm of the optimistic opinion that they'll never get the Brit card through. I think that we'll have enough pushback. But I think, as I mentioned, the reason it's relevant to make Europe healthy again is because it's referencing what we saw with the papers, please culture back in 2021 and how it's now still happening. And we need justice and recognition for what happened then before we can even start addressing what's happening now. So that's what I brought up yesterday. And I would also, final kind of closing message on what I said, is there's not enough space in the prisons. And if we don't comply, if we refuse to have one, there's nothing they can do. Mass non-compliance is the last resort, but could well be the only resort, because they're not going to listen to petitions. We just saw it almost hit 3 million, didn't it? And their response was, doesn't matter. We're just going to roll it through anyway. So yeah, reject digital ID at all costs.
Yeah, and indeed, evil never sleeps, and if they don't quite make this one, they're always going to be active through the back door or other mechanisms to get what they want. But awareness for me is, I think, the biggest thing. Our main weapon, if you will, against this totalitarianism is the awareness of the people, and it always was. I think you agree with that, and you've quite a building presence on social media. What's Twitter or Instagram mainly?
Yeah, they're both. So Instagram's where young people are more than Twitter. So I try my best to sort of put a lot of work into both. Facebook to an extent, and building my YouTube. And you just pointed out something really important. One of the things I do focus on is, whilst there's some great things happening in America, I'm sure whether you like or dislike Trump, you can't deny that around kind of Bobby Kennedy, there is a shift towards better health. And you could say that that's going to kind of find its way over in the UK, and Reform could be doing some interesting things. But I always make the point, stop offloading responsibility to any individual, whether you agree with them or not. It's the public's responsibility to scrutinise and always show that there's an opposition, because every leader is fallible, every leader's got an ego, every leader, whether they're good or bad in your opinion, has the ability to go wrong. And unless the public are the ones to assert their voice, make it clear that they want certain freedoms ring-fenced and protected, you're always going to find somebody pushing in a direction of being more authoritarian. Whether that's Trump, Farage, Biden, Liz Truss, it doesn't matter. It's the public's responsibility to set the groundwork, and they set the precedent for what freedom is. And that's what I promote across my socials, is a grassroots focus about community, decentralization, talking to your neighbor, outreach, and stop looking towards any version of kind of a 1%, a governmental body to fix everything, because you've got to fix it at home, and then it will just bleed out from there.
Absolutely. And my last ask for you, Montgomery, is just to look to the camera and tell the guys what age you are.
I am 20. So yeah, I started doing this when I was 16, and now I look 30. So you can say, it's been an aging battle.
Yeah,
but nevertheless,
well worth it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Good man. Thank you. That'll do it, folks. More from the European Parliament trip later. But again, just a reminder, great idea to get onto the guys in Pure Gold. They're going to be all over what's happening in the market at the moment. Fascinating times. The correction I expected came later than expected over the last week or so. And there's a lot of shenanigans going on, as always. So it's a long story, and I'll link to a video below with Andy Sheckman again, and that'll give you the full story. But the key thing is, I'd start thinking about getting in after the correction bottoms out. It's an amazing time to get in. So I have a lot of my pension and other funds, such as they are over the years, in physical gold and silver. And I put a little in a few months ago, just on a trade, and got out around a week and a half ago. And again, just to stress, that's just a trade, getting in and getting out. But most of my involvement with gold is just long term. So I don't care if the price goes up or down. But I'm going to hold back, and I'm going to get back in again, I'd say in the next week or two, but I'll have to be ready. But in any case, if you talk to the guys at Pure Gold, they'll be fully abreast of all that's going on in the precious metals space. We've got the debasement of the fiat currencies going ahead at breakneck pace, and all of the fundamentals are still the same as they've been for the past few years. Gold is going to keep on being the ultimate store of value, and any wealth, pension, etc. that you or your family have. In my opinion, no financial advice. So anyway, talk to the guys that know. There's a link down below, and just at least I'd suggest start considering taking steps for the future.